into our 9 years of knowing each other through Singular. I actually was a student of Jana's in a way. I was in banking, and I was a manager with a bank, and Jana was in charge of leadership and development. And so we developed a relationship, and she was one of my mentors, and to this day still is. And so I'm very proud of you and all of your accomplishments, and I will always, always believe in you. So. Okay, so let's go ahead. After you've got your homework assignment, we're going to go ahead and we're going to move straight into what you need to do next. So I'm going to talk to you about how you're going to match whatever you're finding from having all of these conversations and relationships. I am going to help you find a little bit more about that, okay? And it does start with questions. Are you surprised that that is part of matching a solution? So I don't know if you guys have these handouts, but they say 8 elements of a sales conversation, and you saw a lot of this on Jana's presentation. This is your information to take with you to start memorizing some of these questions, and you need to start asking some of these questions to peel the onion, not only with your current customers, but you need to go back and talk to some of your prospects, because you probably had people reach out. If you're like me, when I started in 2014, it was October of 2014 when I started this, my very first post that I put up just said, oh my gosh, I can't believe I lost 6 pounds and 8 inches in 8 days. That's all it said. And I had like 70 comments, okay? Now 35 of those were me responding back, okay? Because whenever somebody messages or comments, you respond back, right? But almost all of those 35 people, you guys, have signed up over the last 9 years. But it's because I built relationships with them. They were the first few people to reach out. And a lot of them, I didn't know what to say. And that's okay, you're not gonna know what to say either. Your excitement and your enthusiasm is gonna help you, but if you can go back and have some of these conversations, I encourage you to go back to those very first few people that reached out to you, because they will be some of the people that come back and have conversations with you and actually help you with building your business. So let's go over some of these questions as you're gonna be asking. You have them right in front of you. And I will tell you, it's so important that you listen. And that's where you acknowledge and you listen to what they are saying by paraphrasing and empathizing. That's part of you being able to match what they need, okay? Is that you have to be able to listen. And so I love, one reason I do like having text messages, and I like to tell people, I like to also take notes, is because I like to go back to what they're saying. So if you're doing a video chat, if you're doing a phone call, have a notebook. Try not to do a lot of your calls, if you can, on the fly. If you are on the fly, find a partner that's gonna video chat with you, and before you get on the video chat, you might say, hey, can you take a few notes for me real quick? That's important because you guys have to know, and this is another part of being in a partnership with people. When you find those people that really want to do the business with you, you tell them, I'm going to help you because we're going to know these things. There's been a number of times, especially when Jana and I were working together, because she might be in the middle of a leadership conference or something like that, and she might be saying, hey, I'm going to talk to this person, will you text me? I'm driving, will you text me? There was a lot of times where she was driving because she was going all across the state. But will you text me what they're saying? That's so important, because then we can know what they're talking about, what they're really looking for, so go back and match those solutions for them, okay? And so when you answer their questions, you're looking for 2 things primarily when you're having their conversations with them. You're looking for people buy for pains, things that are painful to them, or they're buying for pleasure, okay? So they want to have something get better in their life, like they want to go more fun, they want to travel, they want to be able to have some things that they can't have right now, or they actually are looking for something to fix a pain that they're having. So keep those things in mind as you're asking these questions and finding information for them. I also have included for you, and I do this for all of my new people especially, I've always loved health, because I was a cheerleader. I loved, jumping up and down. So I started taking supplements and helping my health when I was in high school. But I didn't know what I was doing because I was a business major, and then I was a mom, and then I was a banker, and so I had no idea to know where to start when I started selling Zinger about health products. So we identified some different points to help you with identifying what people are looking for and what products we have to help them get started. And so these 10 points to help you succeed on your journey, and then this other assessment, this is a great form for you to have in front of you when you're having conversations, but it also is a great form for you to have at all of your in-person meetings and events, because these questions, especially this little assessment form, is going to help your person start filling it out in front of you. Can you imagine having a room of 8 people, and they're all there, and they pass out the assessments, and they're filling it out, and you're kind of able to look around and see what people are needing or what they're answering? Oh, this is really short. Sorry. Then that's what you're going to use. You're going to use this to just start assessing their needs so that then you can go back and match the solution. And that's what this 10 points are. And what I always tell people, I'm not the expert, but what I have learned is that based off of what you're telling me, there's all these options to help you, but we want to help you with the best way to save you the most money up front, and that generally is going to be starting you with a kit. Starting people with a kit or a bundle is part of matching their solution, because it's just like Flo always said from Progressive, bundle and save, bundle and save. And I tell people that too. I say, I want you to start off with the best savings, but also the best bundle for your needs. And so when they start seeing this, and I send this to them as a graphic, and you guys will have a QR code here, I send this and I say, this is going to be the best match for what you're looking for. And then go back and I say exactly what they said to me. You told me that you're really struggling with, you think, inflammation, or you're having some, problems around just staying on track. Those cravings are really taking over your eating at night. This is the things that you need, right? I like to go back and match the solution. And this is just a tool to help you with doing this and to help your newest people. That's what we're here for. We want to help the newest person have a simple way to get people started. And honestly, the kits and the bundles are the best way. A single individual product may not help somebody really get out there and share and change somebody's life. But when they can get a kit and a bundle in their hands, it does. And so I'm going to share a few stories with you on some people that I've been able to help over the years. So one of my very good friends, her name is MJ, she struggles with Hashimoto's. She has a lot of other medical problems. And when she and I sat down to look over things, I didn't know really how to present things to her, and I didn't have all the medical problems or issues that she had. So having this in front of me and being able to really tell her these are some areas we can help you, helped her decide to get started with a kit and a bundle. But then, because she knew more, and she actually started with more of the medium-sized one at that time, but because she knew more about the medical stuff, as she started having results, she started selling X Advanced kits. She was the very first person on my team to actually sell a big X Advanced kit. I still remember it, back in 2015. But it was because she could tell people what all of those products were doing for her personally. Your story and your personal experiences matter. And so if you want to be able to sell X Advanced kits, I encourage you, use all the products in the X Advanced kit. Try it. Have a personal experience with it. Get your family members to use it. Get them to try things. Educate yourself just a little bit on some of these products and what they do. There's also a lot of great information in our back office if you needed to know it. But when you have an event and you invite one of your other ex-brand partners to come, you will learn more through stories that they share. You will learn more through them standing up and presenting the products than you will ever learn from you reading and listening to other people, okay? So do your events or attend events online other Facebook parties that people are having so that you can learn more and really help with making those solutions. I'm going to look at my notes here. Maybe if it won't run long. Okay. The other thing that I will tell you is that when it comes to using our products on a 3-kit strategy, is you have to make it simple for people to start. If you just send your website, or if you just send a product ingredient or a product benefit sheet, which we have both, and a lot of times when somebody is seeing your results, even if they see you in passing, they'll say, hey, well, just send me a link. Just send me your website. What's your website? What's your link? They don't necessarily know what they're looking at. And so if you can go back and make something simple, or go back and say, I would like to make a recommendation, and go back and use our starter kits as a place for them, even if they saw you using a trim stick and that's what they asked about. Even if they were talking about using spring. I have a couple that recently came on as a partner, and he first told me, he said, Melissa, I really need something to help me with electrolytes, because it's summer, it's hot, they have a heating and air conditioning business, and he said, I need something. So I gave him a spring sample, right? And he was like, I think I want to order this. But then we talked about trim sticks. Well, I think I might want to order that. And then I said, well, I really need to talk to Sasha, because she is a nurse and she understands wellness. And I think that there's a lot of other things that you guys are probably using. Most people right now, if they want to be healthy at all, they're already using a multivitamin and they're already using an omega, okay? So I think there's things you're already probably using I want you to know a little bit more about. So that opened up an opportunity for me to have a conversation with them to talk about our kits. And guess what they started with? A starter kit. Because they wanted to experience all those things. Could I have just sold them spring and trim sticks at first? Could I have been like, check it out, I got a partner, I'm gonna get a shout out, I'm gonna be ready for one of those free, things that Ziegler's doing? Yes, but I wouldn't have had the opportunity to really find out and talk to them about other things if I hadn't sat down and talked to them about the starter kits. But then it leads to really being able to have a conversation about the business. Because for a prize, how many of you guys know how much PV opened up all 8 levels? 45. Debbie, I heard her. Okay, 345. So 345 PV is what it takes for you to be able to build 8 levels deep. If anybody that you're talking to is business-minded at all, or is thinking at all about maybe some extra income, wouldn't they rather make 8 levels deep than just making their top 3? Yes, but if you just sell them a tummy tamer, they're only gonna make top 3, right? So you need to start talking a little bit more about all of the things within our kits, because that X Plus, which is our medium-sized kit, is 345 PV. That opens up all levels. So wouldn't somebody, instead of spending $294 or $199, wouldn't you be open to hearing about, or would you be open to hearing about how you can get paid 8 levels deep, possibly, if you ever want to build a business? Sometimes I say that, because sometimes people are like, I don't want to build a business, just like we heard from Deanna and Gianna both were when they started, right? But people will think that way, and right now, most of the people that are wanting to talk to you about extra income, they're wanting to think about how much, like they really do need some extra income coming in. And so the 345 PV that you get when you start them off with an X Plus is going to help not only build volume faster, but it's also going to help open up all those levels for residual income for them. The other thing is, for another prize, okay, how many X Advanced does it take to get to manager? Wow. Well, it's really 4, or it's really 5. sorry. I heard 5, like Curtis, I heard echo. Sorry, Debbie. I've never been good. My cord stops. So, sorry. But it's 5, so it takes 5. So yours plus 4. So that's where you got that from. To get the quick start, we have to sponsor 4 people. But if somebody comes on and they get an X Advanced kit, that's 425 PV right there. Then they sign up 4 more people, that's 5 total. That gets you to manager. Right now, how much extra does somebody make if they hit manager this month? Yeah, $400 bonus. But what if their 5 friends turn around and all 5 of their friends hit manager? It's almost $2,000. Yes, you're so right. And so that's the power that we have right now, but we're not talking about our kit strategy. We're not talking about or thinking about in a business numbers. We're not thinking about what that takes. All my goal setting goals that I did this month so far, I've talked about and helped people go back and figure out how many kits it's going to take if they're selling X pluses, X advanced, or just the X bundles. And that helps them to really envision what that will look like. And you can start adding that up to see. People that are wanting to come on board with us right now and actually make some money and get to those goals, and you go back and matching, how much is that wedding dress going to cost, Tracy? Right? How much is your dress going to cost plus your daughter's dress, right? So you have to add, like, start talking to people a little bit, and just, you can ask questions nonchalantly as you're having conversations with them, you know, and, oh, well, how much, when you build that house or when you get that vehicle, how much do you think that's going to run you? Like, start talking so that they, when they're saying back to you things that are costing, oh, well, I know how to help you get that. I know how we can do this. One of my other really good friends who is very successful in, she has a PhD in pharmacy, but she also is an executive within Singular. She told me when she started that she did not want to do the business, of course, but about 2.5 months in, her husband was laid off, and she called me to cancel her subscription. I took that as an opportunity to tell her, ask, how many of you guys, when somebody cancels their subscription or sends you a text, you just say, okay, or you say, you give them customer service number? I've done that before, but no. Take every time somebody gives you any kind of objection, any kind of question, take it as an opportunity to say, okay, I'll call you. Okay, I'll call you. Anytime somebody asks me, well, how do I edit my subscription? Oh, I'll call you. Or how do I order something else? Oh, I'll call you. Like, don't put that, like, take the time, because then you're going to have to talk to them about their need. But what you're going to be doing is looking for those new business partners, and you're trying to find the solutions. So when Casey called me and said, I can't afford, I like the thing a lot, but I can't afford it anymore because my husband got laid off, guess who had a solution, right? And it was the business. And she started sharing her, I actually flew out there. It was my first big builder that I flew somewhere. She lived in Arkansas, and it wasn't cheap, you guys. I think at that point I was maybe a gold director, and I had to spend money to fly out there and go help her do meetings. And literally at her meetings, we had 2 people at one coffee meeting, we had 3 people at a dinner meeting, and I was like, what is going to happen? She ended up going platinum director on that momentum that we got from that stuff. And then a few years later, turned around and went executive. But the people we talked to at that meeting for 4 years told her no. And when they finally said yes, that's how Casey went executive. But it took a lot of follow-up. And if I had not talked to her when she wanted to cancel her subscription on Lean, wouldn't even have that team. Thank you, but it's not me, just giving you guys some real life stories. So as you're talking about Match Talk, we've got a couple of different graphics for you. And if you don't already have these saved on your phone, I encourage you to save them. And have them also, if you wanted to, you could put together, a printout of this for your meetings in person, so that when you do your assessment, you have them for people to see. But you need to see how these different products and match the products and the benefits to what are actually in the different kits. And if you didn't start off with one of these starter kits, then that's all the more reason for you to start memorizing what is all of our products do, because then you can help them with really understanding what's going to benefit their own goals. This is also another great graphic that you guys can use. because of a few reasons. One is it does show the savings. Bundle and save, bundle and save. Like, that just makes sense. Everybody has watched TV and seen Progressive from Flow. But it's got the different savings that they have, but it also shows the 8 levels of pay and what that opens. And sometimes the people have to see the graphics so that they can actually just make that decision. So when you're talking with people, the last thing I want to say is asking for their business. When you're talking about the kids and then putting them, you yourself need to have a sense of urgency and on asking. I've seen one of our other platinum executives, I've been in a number of different chats with her in the past, and she was generally following up within probably 5 to 6 hours after we had a conversation with that person, and she was jumping in back in there and saying, okay, when are you ready to buy your kit? Are you ready to get started? When Crystal came to me, I put her off for 3 months, you guys. She came to me in May of 2014 and wanted me to start Singular with her. I put her off. I didn't start until September 21st of 2014. And the rate she got me to sign up that day is she texted me and she said, are you ready to buy your kit? That's it. But if she had had some urgency about it a little sooner, I might have started sooner. But you have to, people are expecting you to ask for their business. So you've got to do that. You have to go forth and ask for that. Also, breaking down the cost per day. And I talk about this with people all the time, especially when we go out to eat. Tell them, okay, so that meal was such and such amount. Our advanced kit is only $20 a day. Our X Plus kit is about $16 a day, and our X Bundle is $10 a day. Most people are spending $10 a day going to the line at Starbucks. Okay? So they just have to start putting that together in their head. And then, of course, you can talk about our payment plans and adding on some different add-ons for their subscription, things like that. And the follow-up strategy. Most of you guys have this already written down, but follow up, the fortune is in the follow-up. So I encourage you, when you have a conversation with somebody, go back and have a 24-hour follow-up. Have a 48-hour follow-up. Follow up 3 times that week. That's where personally 3x3x3 comes in again, right? You're using the, right now so many people are out there talking to people and trying to build their social media presence and build relationships, and they're doing the 3x3x3, but then come back and follow up 3 times in a week, and then follow up monthly. Because it's not that people don't want to start, it's that maybe they're saving their money or things like that, and your follow up is so important. And here's the QR codes for those documents so that you guys can go save them, and you can go back and you can print them so that you can have them for your in-person events. And you can also have them when you're sitting down in your office, you're doing a video chat, or you're talking to somebody on the phone, and you can help identify what bundle or kit is going to give them the most benefit, but also give them the best savings for their own journey. So thank you guys for being here, and back over.